Here is your no-nonsense recap for Demon Slayer Season 4 in preparation for Infinity Castle. If this video helped you, drop a like and subscribe to not miss Infinity Castle coverage coming to the channel. Episode 1 opens with a stunning UFO table animated action sequence as Hashira, Obanai, and Sanemi storm an abandoned Meiji-era castle to rescue a kidnapped woman. The chase leads them to the edge of the castle, where they witness the mind-bending Infinity Castle. This reveal was absolutely phenomenal, and the music was just chef's kiss. Meanwhile, Kanao returns to the Butterfly Mansion, where Shinobu tasks her with guarding Nezuko, now Muzan's top target after surviving sunlight. This is because Muzan wants to use her as an experiment to cure his own weakness to sunlight and erase what is left of the Hashira. Shinobu leaves Kanao and departs for an emergency Hashira meeting. Tanjiro recuperates in a hidden swordsmith village outpost, learning about their nomadic relocation tactics. In other words, the village isn't one set location, but is a traveling village ready to relocate at a moment's notice. The group discusses Nezuko's transformation, with Tanjiro nearly revealing Lady Tamayo's involvement, a secret tied to the Demon Slayer Corps' covert operations. At the Hashira meeting, Amane presides as Kaguya's health deteriorates. Gyome mourns fallen comrades while celebrating their victories. Amane reveals the prophecy of the Demon Slayer marks. They manifest when a bearer's presence resonates with others. Mitsuri and Muichiro, now marked, explain the near-death conditions required to awaken them: a heart rate of 200 BPM and a 100-degree fever paired with intense emotion. The stakes escalate as Gyome proposes a plan to prepare for Muzan's inevitable attack. Back at the mansion, Zenitsu's return is, well, legendary, to say the least. Though his heart shatters when Nezuko mistakes him for Imosuke. Hage Nezuka delivers Tanjiro's ominous new blade, engraved simply with "Destroy." Inosuke's entrance, window smash included, kicks off Hashira training. The Hashira agree to train Sugoku, including Tanjiro, who eagerly accepts while Zenitsu protests. Tengen and his wives host a meal, outlining each Hashira specialty. I seriously need Mitsuri to break my back, by the way, like just a really good back breaking. A cryptic crow arrives to inform them of Tomioka's absence. Essentially, Tomioka is depressed and refuses to participate in Hashira training. The episode closes on a bittersweet note. Kaguya, bedridden, thanks Amane as Tamayo is recruited to study Nezuko's immunity. Episode Dos opens with Lady Tamayo receiving a summons from Kaguya's crow to research Nezuko's sunlight immunity, a potential game changer in the war against Muzan. Yushiro, ever protective, rushes to her side. Tamayo reflects that this may be the final act, hinting at parallels between the current Demon Slayers and Yoriichi's era, suggesting that their generation could end the conflict. Meanwhile, Tanjiro receives a letter from the ailing Kaguya urging him to reach out to Tomioka, who's withdrawn from Hashira training and himself. Tanjiro, ever empathetic, seeks advice from Aoi on connecting with isolated individuals. At least she recovers from the butt slapping. She offers simple kindness, food with no strings attached, which shows how Tanjiro should best approach Tomioka. Tanjiro barges into Tomioka's space by literally sitting too close to him, undeterred by his cold demeanor. Tomioka confesses his guilt. He survived final selection only because his friend Sabito died fighting the demon Tanjiro, later defeated. Plagued by imposter syndrome, he believes he doesn't deserve his Hashira title. Tanjiro, drawing from his grieving over Rengoku, delivers a pivotal question. Are you going to pass on what Sabito entrusted to you? The words shatter Tomioka's self-loathing spiral, forcing him to recall Sabito's rebuke for wishing that he'd died instead, realizing he'd buried his purpose under guilt. Tomioka agrees to join training after a comedic speeding contest. Elsewhere, Shinobu prepares Kanao for Wind Hashira training, surprised by her now outspoken demeanor. The episode ends with Shinobu poised to reveal the truth about her sister Kanae's death, setting the stage for Kanao's next trial. The episode dives straight into Hashira training, with Tengen and his wives putting new recruits through grueling drills. Tanjiro stands out not just for his enthusiasm, but for his growth, noted by Makio. He has the face of a man now, which is just a great line in general that shows how much he has changed. Meanwhile, Upper 4 lurks in the shadows. Tanjiro's unique discipline, honed from years of mountain labor, helped his family, inspires the trainees. Though they see him as unreachably gifted, he embodies the episode's core message: train relentlessly to become your best self. Tengen's harsh methods are revealed as tough love. He aims to forge warriors, not break spirits. A flashback shows Tomioka conceding their eating contest, highlighting Tanjiro's infectious optimism. And also just shows how important it is to share experiences with other people to feel better when you're not at your best. Sanemi and Obanai critique the trainees' weaknesses, but comply with the master's orders, sensing an impending storm. Later, Tengen's wives thank Tanjiro for saving them in the entertainment district, revealing Tengen's hidden guilt over the people who did end up dying. The training climaxes with a nighttime mock battle. Tengen, playing the demon, overwhelms the recruits until Tanjiro rallies them. Though they still lose, their hope in the Hashira's strength remains strong because of Tanjiro's infectious outlook on life. As Tanjiro departs for Muichiro's training, Tengen reminds him, only Muzan's defeat ends this war. With Muichiro's lone wolf demeanor, Tanjiro's empathy may be key to unlocking his teaching style. Tanjiro arrives at Tokito's training grounds, immediately noticing the missed Hashira's transformed demeanor when he last saw him. Still stern, but now deeply invested in his trainee's growth. The episode reveals some fascinating details. Tokito maintains an arsenal of perfectly sharpened blades courtesy of the smith Kanamori, and a facility personally built by the dying Kaguya, showcasing both characters' genuine care for one another. Tokito cares for his blades while Kaguya cares for his men and his women, his Hashira, and the people who work with them, almost as if they are a family. Training proves brutal as Tokito drills recruits with merciless precision, defending his methods by stressing that one loss against a demon is fatal. Tanjiro surprisingly agrees with the harsh approach, recognizing Tokito's own exhaustion from non-stop training. At night, something lurks. A creepy upper moon demon controlling swarms of eyes while playing a shamisen. With Sanemi and Obanai training with incredible animation during their secret Hashira sparring lessons, a breakthrough occurs when trainees discover Tokito's nightly injuries from extra training, realizing his severity comes from care, not cruelty. In a touching moment, Tokito admits, "I don't want any of you to die," a far cry from his detached Swordsmith Village arc demeanor. After just 5 days, Tanjiro masters Tokito's fundamentals, and they bond over paper airplanes. Each character is uniquely designed, by the way, with the recruits joining in a symbolic unity. And some really great score at the end, too. The episode closes with Tokito vowing to fight alongside Tanjiro against Muzan, followed by a post-credits tease. Mitsuri Kanroji's training begins next, and you know what that means. The episode opens with Tanjiro's training under Kanroji, who treats him to pancakes, a luxury he's unfamiliar with, though the lighthearted moment shifts when Kanroji puts Tanjiro and others through brutal crotch-stretching exercises, leaving them in agony, but at the very least more flexible. Next, Obanai's intense training begins, evoking some Karate Kid vibes as he relentlessly drills Tanjiro. The challenge isn't just hitting targets, but doing so while avoiding bound trainees. Tanjiro realizes the true test is fighting Obanai himself. Tanjiro laments Sanemi's brutality compared to Obanai's breaks, but the real focus is Sanemi's fractured relationship with his brother, Genya. In a very, very emotionally raw moment, Genya confesses to eating demons, tormented by guilt and his brother's rejection. When Sanemi attacks him, Tanjiro intervenes, defending Ginya's worth, something Saname refuses to acknowledge. A brutal brawl ensues, with Tanjiro holding his own defensively until nightfall, costing him Saname's training. The episode ends with Tanjiro and Zenitsu stumbling upon Inosuke training under the wind Hashira, who meditates in fire while crying. Yes, you heard that right, while crying in fire. Episode 6 continues with Hashira training under Gyomei, the stone Hashira, focusing on core strength and endurance. Tanjiro and Zenitsu meditate under a freezing waterfall, lifting logs and pushing a boulder 1 cho, or 109 meters. A cho, by the way, is a traditional Japanese measurement system. Zenitsu collapses from exhaustion, while Inosuke nearly drowns before Tanjiro revives him. During meditation, Tanjiro practices ninbutsu, a Buddhist chant meaning mindfulness of Buddha. Gyomei's imposing presence, massive, blind, constantly weeping, earns him respect as the strongest Hashira. Meanwhile, Upper Moon Nakime spies on the Demon Slayer Corps, signaling Muzan's hunt for Nezuko and Ubayashiki, raising stakes much further. Tanjiro's sandal breaks while pushing the boulder, mirroring his Season 1 boulder slicing trial. He repairs it without judgment when trainees leave to support roles, acknowledging their importance. Later, Genya thanks Tanjiro for standing up to Saname, and they discuss Gyomei's teachings. Genya notes Tanjiro's stubbornness, subtly shown through his relentless pure and good nature. At dinner, Genya explains repetitive motion, channeling emotion versus total concentration's calm focus. Tanjiro, recalling Rengoku's Set Your Heart Ablaze, harnesses his passion for family and friends, triggering his mark's evolution. In a climactic moment, he moves the boulder, fulfilling Rengoku's legacy. The episode ends with Muzan's looming threat, setting up the final confrontation. Episode 7 opens with Tanjiro and Inosuke completing their boulder-pushing challenge, over 300 feet. Zenitsu watches in awe and receives a letter via an aggressive bird, while Gyomei shares his tragic backstory. Once distrustful after his found family abandoned him during a demon attack, leaving only him and a girl, Sayo. Despite being blind, he brutally killed the demon to protect her, only for Sayo to betray him, leading to his imprisonment. The story highlights his resilience, echoed in his role as the unshakable stone Hashira, and his growing trust in Tanjiro's sincerity, mirroring themes of broken trust and self-worth. Post-training, Gyomei offers Genya support, like sending him to Shinobu, while Tanjiro encourages reconciliation with Saname. Zenitsu, uncharacteristically somber, reflects on his goals, revealing depth beneath his usual antics. The highlight? Saname and Tomioka's insane sparring session, demolishing practice swords with their techniques. Later, Saname discovers an Upper Moon's eyeball, revealing some sort of infiltration. The final episode of Demon Slayer opens with an unforgettable 40-minute spectacle, as Muzan finally confronts Kaguya Ubayashiki. Kaguya, frail and blind, relies on his wife to describe Muzan. Muzan, who has hidden behind human disguises for centuries, underestimates Kaguya's resolve. Despite his deteriorating body, Kaguya reveals their shared bloodline and curses Muzan for the suffering that he's inflicted. The Ubayashiki family's curse, producing frail children due to their demonic lineage, adds some tragic depth here. Kaguya's children playing ball unnerves Muzan, highlighting his disconnect from humanity. Kaguya delivers a philosophical monologue about eternity, framing the Demon Slayer Corps as the internal manifestation of humanity's wrath against Muzan. That declaration that has his death will only strengthen the Corps' resolve is chilling. As the Hashira rush in, Kaguya executes his ultimate sacrifice, detonating explosives, immolating himself, his family, and Muzan in a breathtaking explosion. The animation is cinematic. Slow-motion flames warp the estate, paper doors disintegrate, and the shockwave stuns even the Hashira. Muzan, however, survives, but the trap leaves him wounded with caltrops embedded in his flesh. From the ashes, Lady Tamayo strikes, impaling Muzan with a syringe containing a demon-to-human cure, her life's work. Her tragic backstory, turned into a demon by Muzan and forced to kill her family, fuels her vengeance. In a brutal exchange, Muzan kills her by impaling her skull, but not before she delivers the fatal injection. Her expressions, determination, sorrow, and triumph are masterfully animated, cementing her as one of the series' best and most compelling characters. Gyomei, enraged by Kaguya's death, obliterating Muzan's head with his spiked flail. Flashbacks reveal Kaguya's trust in Gyomei, absolving him of his past guilt. But Muzan regenerates instantly, mocking their efforts. Only sunlight can kill him. He retaliates with black blood brambles, countered by Gyomei's stone skin. The Hashira then unite, unleashing their breathing techniques simultaneously, but Muzan smirks, teleporting everyone into the Infinity Castle. The episode ends on a cliffhanger as Tanjiro curses Muzan. Comment blue hearts down below to let me know you made it to the end of the video. Check out my recaps for Demon Slayer Seasons 1 through 3 and Mugen Train on the screen now. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe. Make it a great day or not, the choice is yours.